Today's tutorial is extra special because I have my friend Gina in my chair. We're doing a mature glam. Think special occasion, wedding guest, date night energy. And between the two of us, we had so much fun. We laughed a lot. Gina is so beautiful, both inside and out, and I am so excited to share this one with you. We're starting off with the First Aid Beauty Radiance Pads. I love to use these to exfoliate the skin before every makeup. Oh, you can see here that I'm demonstrating to Gina that I need to remember to put the product in front of the monitor so then you know what I'm using. And I'm just taking the pad and sweeping that all over Gina's face. Next, I'm prepping the lips with the Laneige sleeping mask. Yes, I did already forget to put it in front of the monitor, so I'm just telling you what I used. I'm using the Got To Be a brow gel. I got this at a drugstore in Germany and I've loved it ever since. With skin prep, I usually start with a little bit of brow gel on the brows and then I will let them dry and usually come back to them after I finish the eyes. And if you've watched my channel before, you know that I love milky toners as skin prep. I'm using this one from Beauty of Joseon. It has rice water in it, but it also has sebum powder, which is great for Gina's combination skin. It's going to absorb that oil, but also balance and hydrate the skin at the same time. Using milky toners for me is really a no-brainer, and it's definitely something that has become a staple in my kit and in my skin prep for the very reason that it hydrates and plumps the skin without adding an extra layer of texture. I now only just realized how dirty the top of my concealer is. Apologies, but I'm going in with the Dior Forever Skin Concealer in the shade 2N. I always rather prefer using concealers on the eyelids rather than eyeshadow primers because not only does it prep the skin, but it also helps to color correct and create a nice neutral canvas for the eyeshadow to go on top of. I want to start off our eye look with Dimension first, so I'm going in with the Patrick Ta Medium Eyeshadow Palette. I took a mixture of the second and third shadows on a fluffy Smith Cosmetics brush, and I'm placing that into the crease of Gina's eye. As you can see, I'm also taking it on the outer V to create that depth, like I said. Layering your mattes under your shimmers is going to create more dimension on the eye and help them to stand out. But by keeping our contour shades on the lighter side, we're creating depth, but without heaviness. And here I'm grabbing more of the third and fourth shadow shades and just building up the dimension and the depth on the eye. Now I'm going in with a deep purple eyeliner from Urban Decay because I'm planning on using another eyeshadow palette that has purple in it. So again, I wanted to create that depth at the lash line, but I'm not using black and I'm not using brown. I'm using purple because it's still giving us that drama, but without the harshness of a black or a brown eyeliner. Another thing I really want to emphasize here is that I'm making sure that every single step that I'm doing is fully blended and seamless. And now to add a bit more color on the eyes, I have the Tom Ford eyeshadow quad in Honeymoon. First, I'm taking a bit of that mauvey color on a pencil brush and I'm blending that into the lash line to soften the liner that we did, as well as the contour that we did with the Patrick Ta palette. And then I'm taking a clean, fluffy brush just to make sure there are no harsh lines. And then to deepen that lash line, I'm going back in with the pencil brush, but this time into that deep purple shade. And I am tracing over everything that I just covered with the mauve shade. This is actually the key to wearing darker colors. You get that depth and dimension from the matte eyeshadows from the Patrick Ta palette. And then by adding the colors from the Tom Ford palette, even the deep purple feels soft and wearable. And now to blend all that depth together even more, I'm taking the bronze shade on a flat shader brush and just sweeping that all over the eyelid. And to blend everything together, I'm taking the ivory shade from the Patrick Ta palette and sweeping it all over the eyelid. To deepen the look even further, I'm taking a black eyeliner pencil on a brush and sweeping it right on the outer V on the lash line and smudging it out. I know I did say that black can be harsh, but when it's placed on top of colors that are already blended out like this, it can actually appear very, very soft. We are building an eye look here and it's all about layering and blending. While I'm curling Gina's lashes, I just want to mention that you do not need all of these palettes to create a really beautiful eye look. For mascara, I'm using our favorite Chanel mascara, La Volume. I love this mascara so much. Gina and I actually met while we were working at Chanel and we've been friends ever since. And because this is a glam look, I'm going to go in with some Falscara Bambi Wisps. I don't know if you can tell, but I am applying them underneath Gina's lashes. I love applying them underneath because it gives that volume and flutter at the lash line, but it looks seamless. If you want a more full-length tutorial on how to apply lashes underneath, I did do a video more than I think a year ago, but I can redo it if you'd like. Let me know in the comments below and I will make that happen. And I just love the clips of her laughing. And because I wanted just a little bit more sparkle, I went in with the Half Magic Beauty Tickle Spell eyeshadow and just brushed that all over the eyelid with my finger just to give it a little bit more depth and a little bit more drama. drama. Gotta have sparkle for this look, right? Now that the eyes are done, I'm just cleaning up any fallout from the eyeshadow with a little micellar water on a cotton pad. Now I'm going in with the Danessa Myricks Universal Balm. I found that it's best to apply it with fingertips because I think the warmth of your fingers helps it to penetrate the skin better. There's hardly ever a makeup that I do without this product because it really does so many things. It helps with pores, it helps with texture on the skin, the makeup lasts longer, and then it also helps to eliminate oil breakthrough that you can get on the T-zone or wherever you tend to get shiny. And you can also use it after you've done your makeup for touch-ups. It's amazing. To help brighten Gina's complexion even more, I'm going in with the Isamea color corrector. This is the green color corrector. I noticed that Gina had a little bit of redness in the middle of her face, and I wanted to get rid of that before I went in with foundation. So I'm just tapping that into the skin in the areas that Gina needs it. A little goes a long way, and the more I color correct now, the less foundation I need to use. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Gina is an esthetician, so that's why her skin is so gorgeous. Now moving on to brows, I'm just filling them in with the Glossier brow pencil. Yes, I did move on to brows instead of continuing with skin because I want to give the two products that I applied to Gina's face a little more time to absorb and get happy, so when I place the foundation on top of them, they don't move. I also did not realize while I was filming that you could see so much of me, so apologies about that. I'm still an amateur. And because you know I love brows, I wanted to give them a little bit more depth, so I went in with the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen in the shade Espresso just to draw in a few more hairs and give them a little bit more dimension. For foundation, I'm using a kit favorite. This is the Dior Backstage. I absolutely love this foundation on all skin types, particularly mature skin. It's one of those foundations that photographs beautifully and it helps the skin just look better. It has this really beautiful luminous finish and it also gives great coverage without feeling heavy, and it doesn't fall into fine lines and wrinkles. I don't know if you noticed, but I switched to a different foundation brush, a clean foundation brush. I really love to use two separate brushes, one to apply the foundation and the other one to blend it out. This helps it to look seamless without over applying it. And I forget what we were talking about here, but we were definitely having so much fun and having such a laugh. So I love the MPH underpainting palette, but I actually prefer it over foundation. What I actually tend to do is use the bronzer and contour shades underneath foundation, but when it comes to the brightening shades, I love placing those over foundation to just add more light to the middle of the face. I'm taking a combination of the first two brightening colors underneath Gina's eyes and then bringing it down along the nose and kind of creating that triangle underneath the eye. That way I'm color correcting before I'm going in with concealer, so I use less concealer. There is a method to my madness, I promise. And then using the same technique as I did with the foundation, I'm taking a clean fluffy brush and just removing any residual product that might be on Gina's skin. To shape the face, I'm going in with a mixture of the bronzer and contour, and I'm placing that underneath her cheekbone just to bring back a little bit of the dimension to the face. And to blend that out, I'm taking my foundation brush, my magic eraser, making sure there are no hard lines. Now this is my favorite part where we snatch that jawline, honey. She has it. I'm just accentuating it, but stay tuned to the end where you can really see the transformation. And again, I'm buffing that out with the foundation brush, making sure there are no hard lines, bringing that contour up under the chin. I know you can see that. What a difference, right? Going in with the Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks Doo Doo Blush. I think that's actually how I said it, which is why Gina's laughing. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but I do know that I love it, and it is one of the most beautiful cream blush formulas I have ever used. When it comes to cream blush, I don't like using my fingers. I feel like I have more control with my brushes. You can see once again, I'm using my IT Cosmetics brush to blend out those lines, placing the product with one brush and then using a second brush to ensure that everything is blended. Is it a lot of brushes? Yes. Do you need 25 brushes? No, you can definitely just use a few. And now for a little bit of concealer, I'm going in with the Dior Forever Skin Concealer. This is in the shade 2N, and we're just going over that color correcting that we did with the underpainting palette. This concealer has a lot of pigment, so I'm not using very much, but this is basically just to melt everything together. To set the face, I'm taking the Laura Mercier translucent powder on a Cozzette brush, and I'm sweeping that all over the face, including under the eyes, to make sure that our cream products are set before we go in with our powder products. Please excuse my very well loved NARS Laguna bronzer. bronzer. It is the formula before they reformulated everything, and I refuse to give it up. I'm just taking that on a BK Beauty brush over the cream bronzer and contour that we already did. This helps with longevity, but it also helps with depth. It's the same idea of layering your matte eyeshadows with your shimmer eyeshadows. It's all about creating dimension and depth on the face without weight. Now to define the lower lash line without adding any extra weight, I'm going back in with that purple eyeliner on a detailed brush and smudging that along the lower lash line. And then to soften it, I'm taking that mauve color again from the Tom Ford palette and just smudging that right underneath. I also did not realize that I think this Tom Ford palette is discontinued. I believe you can get a few on Amazon, but I will also link some of my favorite dupes below in the description. Isn't that the way it always goes? But sorry. Here I'm taking a fan brush and applying some of the La Volume mascara to Gina's lower lashes. Set the contour, I'm taking the shade Biscuit from the Westman Powder Duo and placing it over the Laguna bronzer. For powder blush, I'm going in with the YSL 44 Nude Lavalier blush. This is a kit favorite. It's so beautiful. This blush has the perfect amount of dimension to it and it looks good on pretty much everybody. I love to take whatever blush I'm using on an eyeshadow brush and sweep it in the crease. I feel like it kind of melds the look together and it helps elevate it. Moving on to lips, I just took a little bit of concealer on a small brush and I'm concealing Gina's lips and then setting it with a loose powder. This is the best way to prep lips for longevity. And because I love a good theme, we're going in with the YSL lipstick in 44 Nude Lavalier, same shade as the blush. And no lie, it took me a few attempts to find a lip liner that I liked, but I finally settled on Chanel Nude Brun 162 to give a beautiful contour to the lip, but it still appears very soft. I absolutely love this lip combination, especially on Gina. We're almost done, I promise. Going in with the Swede Miracle Powder. This is in the shade Golden Medium. This just blurs everything. I love setting the face with this. It's like you're a walking Instagram filter. It really is so, so beautiful. Now we're just setting the face with the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm.
Wow. Wow. Yes, ma'am. That lip is...
It's good, isn't it? Yeah. And here is the final look. She looks absolutely amazing. I know it's a lot of steps, but it's definitely doable. That's why it's a special occasion makeup. This was so much fun. Thank you to my beautiful model, Gina, and thank you, the viewer, for watching.